What is up, guys? I'm ExxotikGaming, and today I am back with another Pixel Gun 3D video. Before I continue on with this review on the Dark Matter Generator UP1, I would really appreciate it if you guys did check out the video I uploaded right before this one. I uploaded another Minecraft episode number 47, but the thing that makes that episode so much more important than most of the other videos I've uploaded on my channel to date is at one point in that video, I basically explained and throughout the entire video showed you the world that got me into Minecraft and later on Pixel Gun 3D. Because without that world that I had showed you guys in that video, I would have never gotten into both of these games and I would have almost surely never done YouTube. So I hope you guys do enjoy that video. If you guys did check out that video, comment the word kangaroo down in the comment section of that video. And yeah, it's like a step back in time to my very first world 4 years ago in September of 2011. So anyways, back to today's video. As you guys heard earlier in the video, today's review is on the Dark Matter Generator UP1, a very interesting area damage weapon. You know some of the area damage weapons as very standard, rocket launchers and stuff like this, but this is very different from most of the other area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. First off, this weapon has a very high firing rate. For an area damage weapon, as you guys can see here, a 91 firing rate almost means you can almost spam this weapon in a close range match without even any let up. As you guys can see here, if I compare this with other firing rates of some of the other area damage weapons here, we have a 83 firing rate, we have a 71 firing rate. The other exception is the Tesla cannon. This one also has a 91 firing rate, but we have 61, 40, 89, 75, but as you guys can see here, this one with a 91 firing rate means that this is one of the fastest firing weapons in the area damage whole section of Pixel Gun 3D. That paired with a 23 lethality means that you'll get some very interesting gameplay with this weapon. Not the best area damage weapon gameplay possible, but you'll get some very interesting gameplay that you will not find with most of the other area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into a very close range map. Unfortunately, only Silent School was the map available. I did just go through the matches right before I checked this video, or I did this video, and yeah, Silent School was the only one available, so hopefully you guys don't mind the glitchiness of this map. But anyways, as you guys can see here, this is basically what the weapon looks like. It is a okay looking weapon. It doesn't look super fantastic like the pet dragon or the photon pistol or the photon shotgun even. It's an okay looking weapon. There are other weapons that are obviously better looking than this one. This one kind of just looks like a little box almost that you're carrying on the far right side of your screen. Another downside is the fact that this weapon really takes up a lot of your screen. And that's kind of a problem at certain points when you are in matches that are very close range, because somebody can easily hide on the right side of your screen, and since this is such a big weapon, you'll never ever see them since your weapon covers so much of the screen. But on a good side, this weapon has a very fast firing rate, as I said before. As you guys can see here, I'm just spamming the firing button and taking people out. It is difficult to take adamant armored players out like this guy, as you guys can see here. I do find when using this weapon I have a lower accuracy than I do with some of the other area damage weapons. It's probably just me, but for some reason I feel like when I use this weapon, since I feel like I have such a fast firing rate, I feel like I can just spam the weapon and not worry that all of the rocket blasts are actually hitting the other players. But the truth is, you have to make sure that those blasts are going to hit the enemy players, because an adamant armored player takes quite a long time to take out. Something like 5 or 6 shots with this weapon to take them out if they are fully adamant armored up. And if you have a bunch of rocket blasts that you do not shoot actually successfully hitting an enemy player, that'll turn into like 10 or 12 shots, and by that time that enemy player will have already found you and they will have already easily taken you out. So keep that in mind when using this weapon. This is definitely a weapon that you have to be very concerned when using. You cannot just spam the weapon, even though it seems like that's what you can do when you first get the weapon. Trust me, do not spam the weapon, because you will find it is just not going to work out in your favor if you just hold down the firing button for a long time and just expect for those blasts to actually hit these people. Because as you guys can see here, I kind of spammed it right there, and I didn't successfully take that person out, which is a big downfall with the weapon. But, you know, there are some good sides of the Dark Matter Generator UP1. Now, I think the blast animation of this thing is absolutely awesome looking. You know, it really looks like dark matter. I mean, actually, we don't know, because nobody knows what dark matter really looks like. But, you know, this is what I would figure dark matter looks like in real life if it was shot out of a weapon like this. It looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. I just wish they designed it to look a little bit better, and combined with the awesome looking animation, this weapon would probably look like one of the coolest ones in Pixel Gun 3D. This is definitely a weapon that you should use if you are going to plan on you going up against people who do not have full adamant armor, because I would highly recommend not to use this in a match where every single player has adamant armor, because it will not end up being the best possible gameplay for you. As you guys can see here, I'm getting kills, but I'm not getting tons and tons and tons of kills like I do with other area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. It's also not the most expensive weapon in Pixel Gun 3D by far, so like I always say when I do my weapon reviews, with power comes price, and with the Dark Matter Generator, it's not the most expensive weapon out there, so it's not the most powerful weapon out there. I do like the little animation of the little whatever spinning pink thing on the very tip of the weapon. That's a very interesting looking thing. That's purple. That's definitely not pink. That's purple. But that's an interesting part of the weapon. I do like the 15 capacity, so if you do end up spamming the weapon, you won't end up running out of ammo instantly like some other area damage weapons. Like, take the fire starter. You will run out of ammo so insanely quickly when you use the fire starter. You don't really have to worry about that too much when using the Dark Matter Generator UP1, because you do have quite a lot of ammo with the weapon when you first start out in a match. Now, it's not an infinite amount of ammo, so you will run out of ammo. I can guarantee you, you're going to have to spend 3 coins in a match if you plan on using this the entire length of a match, but you can get pretty far into a match before you have to actually, you know, spend 3 coins to reload. As you guys can see, I actually don't think I have spent 3 coins yet in this match, and there are only 50 seconds remaining, so I'm pretty much set throughout this entire match. As long as it's not one of the longest length matches in Pixel Gun 3D, you should be set. But if it is a match that, you know, is like 7 minutes long, just be prepared that you might have to spend 3 coins to buy more ammo when using this weapon. I actually feel like this is one of those weapons that you shouldn't use just as a primary and only as itself. I feel like this is one of those weapons that you use with others. I feel like, you know, you can use your pet dragon, and then in like a last chance circumstance, you take out the Dark Matter Generator and blast the enemy who's, you know, striving on their last leg of life. I feel like this is that's what you should use the weapon for. I don't feel like this is one of those weapons where you should just run around an infected prison and just try to take every single person that you see out without using your primary, secondary, melee, or special weapons. I feel like you should, you know, use this only at certain times, and only in those certain times are when you know the enemy player does not have much health left, because I would not recommend going up against a fully armored player with this weapon, because it will take quite a bit of time to take them out. And I do have to say though, if you do take one of those people out successfully, like a fully adamant armored player, just like I said in my Bastion review, just last weapon review that I did, it's an absolutely awesome feeling when using this weapon and getting kills with it. Like, even though I'm not getting a ton, I just feel so awesome when I get a kill with the Dark Matter Generator UP1, much more so than with most of the other area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. I genuinely feel like pretty good when I kill somebody who has adamant armor when I just have the Dark Matter Generator. It's really cool. So, you know, if you just want to have a fun weapon that, you know, might not be the best possible weapon out there in Pixel Gun 3D, but it's fun. It's just a really fun thing to use at certain times. You know, you can spam it and, you know, blast all your enemies all over the place, you know, not necessarily killing them, but, you know, blasting them away, just trying to annoy every single person in a match. You know, this might be the weapon for you. I can guarantee you, not 100% best gameplay ever, but it is a fun weapon to use. Like, if I could compare this with some of the other area damage weapons in Pixel Gun 3D, I'd say this would rank pretty evenly with things like the Armageddon and I'd say this would rank possibly with the UP1 version of the anti-gravity blaster. So, you know, it's not the most overpowered thing in the world, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Absolutely no one in a match should rage when you use the dark matter generator, because this thing requires a lot of skill to use. I definitely would get pretty mad if I was in a match and some enemy player got mad at me for using that, because it's difficult. It's pretty difficult to get good gameplay with this thing, honestly. So, yeah. It's pretty difficult at times. Obviously, as you guys can see here, it's definitely easier to take people out who have less armor in a match. Those people that I just killed who don't have much armor, it's much easier to take these people out. And that is something to note if you are a lower level player and, you know, maybe the only armor that you see people using is gold or diamond. You might want to take this thing into consideration, because it's certainly not going to be the most difficult weapon to use if not everybody has, you know, the maxed armor level in Pixelgun 3D. I'd say if you go up against anything above ruby armor, your best bet is to stay away from the weapon, unless, as I said before, you just want a fun weapon to use. But if you're going based solely off of the stats of the weapon, you could do without this, honestly. Now, maybe somebody honestly is fantastic with the weapon, and if you are fantastic with the weapon, that's awesome. Great for you, and you don't need to sit there in the comments commenting, "Oh my god, it's awesome for me," because I'm just doing this on a very general basis. People who are watching this are not going to be as fantastic as you, who is commenting right now, saying that you are the best with the dark matter generator. It's I'm just doing this review solely off of what I've seen with this weapon so far in a match. Now, overall, if I could, like, rate this area damage weapon, I'd probably give this thing about a 7. I'd give this thing a 7, as, like, I would probably give a 10 to, like, the solar power cannon UP1 or the UP2 version, sorry. I'd give, like, an 8 to the anti-gravity blaster or something like that. So it's pretty high up there, you know. It's one of the better area damage weapons in Pixelgun 3D. It's not, like, super underpowered like the pumpkin thrower, say, or the cherry bomb or something like that. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And with a 23 lethality, I feel like that 23 lethality is slightly exaggerated by Really Soft. I don't really know if this thing is 23 lethality. I'd say this thing is more like 17. I feel like 17 would be a more realistic stat with the dark matter generator UP1, just because it is quite a bit of shots to take out an adamant armored player, and if you take the amount of shots for a solar power cannon and with the dark matter generator, it's definitely a lot more shots with the dark matter generator than it would be with the solar power cannon. So I think the stat numbers for however many shots it takes should be a little bit more different than what they are presently right now. But anyways, as you guys can see, I am still able to take people out. How many people have I taken out so far in this match? About 16 or something like that. So, not impossible to take these guys out. And that's the important part. I would not say this weapon is good if you cannot get good gameplay with it, alright? I mean, if you know how to use a weapon like this, then this thing, you could turn this possibly into one of the best weapons in a match that you're in. I'm not the best player with this in the world, but I can get decent gameplay with it, enough to be able to do a pretty good review on the weapon. So I think I'm pretty satisfied with the gameplay I've been getting. This is pretty true to what I normally get. Some of my reviews, I end up getting better gameplay than what I normally do, just on rare occurrences. Like probably 1 or 2 of my videos that I've done so far on a weapon review, I've gotten better gameplay than usual, and I usually state that in my videos that I do actually get that to occur. But the majority of my videos that I do weapon reviews, I get gameplay that is pretty similar to what I get off camera, and this is a perfect example of that. You know, I die a lot when using it, but I get kills, and kills are sometimes more important than, you know, dying a lot. So yeah, I don't really have much else I need to say about the dark matter generator UP1, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did enjoy this review on the dark matter generator, then be sure to hit that like button, comment, favorite, and subscribe for some more Pixelgun 3D videos. Be sure to check out every other weapon review I have done on my channel. I have done tons and tons of other weapon reviews. This is like number 90, or pretty close to that. I have to check that. I keep saying I'm going to check that in my reviews, but I never actually check. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this actually is number 90. So if you really want to, there are 89 weapon reviews waiting for you after you exit this video. But anyways, yeah, be sure to check out all of those. Be sure to check out my other series I do on my channel, most notably my Minecraft series, which I shouted out at the beginning of this video, pointing you guys out to episode number 47, which I uploaded right before this one. So yeah, be sure to check that out, and that's it. So let's go get one last kill, shall we? I think we shall. I think it'll be this guy right here. Probably gonna be this guy. Or not. I guess there's nobody up there. See, that's the problem with this being super glitched up. It's just way too dark, and you can't even see where people are at certain points. Oh, but there we go, guys. So yeah, thank you all for watching again. And that should have registered. I'm just gonna say that's registered. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.